engines. These guys are down around about 400 or 500 horsepower, whereas those big boats that we just saw were well in excess of 1,000, most of them. Looking at boat number 9 down there first. Okay, this is Daniel Reed out here now. Daniel Reed. And Ben Soul. This is the Naki boys. And this boat, they're born and bred here in Waitara. They enjoy trail riding and all sorts of things. Butterbean is the nickname of Daniel Reed. Cavey knows all about these guys. He stayed with them the other night, but 500 horsepower there with an Eagle hull and a 406 Chevy.
Yeah, so these are your hometown heroes here, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure you get in behind this team. Number 9 is your boat you want to look out for. Always good to watch this Group B category. They are very, very competitive, and look at him there, just getting all sorts of crossed up as he's coming back through his own wake. It's going to be really, really tricky for some of these teams when they're coming through that middle section of the track today, but he's held on nicely, and he's going to go over and post a time. We'll bring that to you very, very shortly.
Just have, you can see the smaller engines, they're just struggling through that heavier water, and of course these boats require a fair bit of speed to keep themselves up on the water, so these competitors will be trying to work out how they get around that course a little quicker. It looks like we have a time for...
Got a time there, Wiggy, 45.564.
That's 45. Pretty good. That's really good for a Biolytix Group B's boat, so we go now to Adrenaline, next boat in. That is... Greg Reedon and Dawn Erb out here now. Greg Reedon is from Inglewood, another good local team, and Dawn Erb as well. This is a L98 Commodore motor, 500 horsepower, and it's cackling its way around the track as we look up across the top there. Given a nice turn around the middle, and as we come back round through the middle again, here's the hard right-hander around Suzuki, round the outside of Alltherm. Try and get a bit extra speed up through the middle, get over that dirty water. That's a hard right-hander there. Boat's rocking around like a bull at the rodeo yesterday, just quietly. As we come back through in front, Jason will have a time for us.
45.305.
45.305. They've got a lot of work to do to try and get that boat a little smoother in the water. 45.305. There's lots of work to do to try and smooth that out. They may have to change some of the angles on the jet unit, maybe the way they've trimmed the boat, and try and get it up on the water a little, or at least to cut through. We go back to the Naki boys boat in front of us here. You do.
Yes, so we're about to welcome Jason Reed and Andrew Wells out onto the track here. Of course, these boys from Waitara as well, so they'll be well happy that a jet sprint track has been organised on their patch, and I'm sure they've got loads of friends and family here to support the Naki boys today. So make sure you're screaming out for them on the bank as they make their way around the top of the course now, and then of course they're going to come back on through where it gets really, really tight. Coming around this right-hander here on Suzuki is a very, very challenging corner to get around. And that's where these teams are going to have the difference of really posting a solid time, or maybe just adding a few hundredths of a second to their final time. Round here as well is very, very tight on this course. It's getting a little bit of wash in there, and then coming around and now the outside, and he'll scream around the mouth fresh corner and then back over to post a time for the Naki boys.
Thank you for your applause and appreciation, ladies and gentlemen. I can see we're going to have a great crowd here. Jason, how was the time for those guys?
47.891.
All right, once again, this is the Biolytix Group B's. These guys run a pretty standard engine in these boats, around about 450 to 500 horsepower. And great day's action out here. These are the entry-level boats. You can get into one of these for about 30 to 60,000, depending on how much you really want to spend. But you get yourself out on the water and enjoy jet sprinting. So that's what we're looking at here at the Biolytix Group B's. We're going to back some great competitors in here, and this is a very, very competitive class, actually. I'm just getting a little bit of a wave from the team from two abreast. Two ladies down here in the purple and black boat on the line. A couple of really hard case girls, good competitors. They're going to be coming out onto the water shortly, but bear with us. I'll just see which boat. A little steep, this boat ramp here is a little steep, so it's a bit hard to see who's coming on and who's coming off, but steering wheel's getting applied to the bitches box now. Pip Thompson and Poppy in the bitches box. They may be the next to come off. Okay, we're going to go down to boat number 6 down here. Liquid Addiction it is. Tim Headhouse and Debbie Headhouse. They come just basically jump over the Wanganui River a bit, and that's Ofongo is where they are. They have a L98 engine again, 500 horsepower, Stinger hull. New sponsor, McCurdy Engineering. Now, these guys really just love the sport. They've been getting better and better every year that we see them. Only been in the sport for about 3 of those years. So here's a hard left-hander for them around Mouthfresh. Nice, smooth run. We may look for a 44 and better from these guys, maybe even a 43, the way they're taking it to the course right here, right now. Hard right-handed round the Suzuki Island. Very, very smooth drive here for a Group B boat. Tim Headhouse making it looks like he's had a bit of practice on this track, but none of them have seen it before today. As we finish off through the right-hander now around the outside of the Alltherm Island. Now we come down through Mouthfresh, hard right-hander again, and we look for a time.
Fantastic there, a 42.761. So that's the fastest run so far with qualifying number 2 in the Group B category. So a really nice smooth run there for Tim and Debbie Edhouse. Well done, guys.
Yeah, really well done. In fact, great to see them. Now, here's a really good team in front of us now. Pip Thompson and Megan Brody. Poppy, we nicknamed her. They coming from the Hawke's Bay and the South Island, respectively. The Bitches box is a 406 Chevy. Has a 500 horsepower engine in it and Stinger hull. It'd be nice to see these ladies do really, really well. They've put a lot of work. She is the secretary for the Jet Sprinting Association, is our lady Pip Thompson.
They come around Mouthfresh now, and yeah, the Bitches box are looking pretty settled and smooth in the water as well. So these ladies really getting into action and the swing of things with not too many issues so far. This is tight around here at Suzuki, but again, they're whistling around that corner with not too many dramas at all. We'll see what happens around the top, but well, again, these guys are on for a pretty good run so far. They've got that boat looking really, really nice. And of course, the key is just to keep it nice and steady and smooth in the water so it cuts through and just creams on through to produce a solid time. So what do we got there for Pip? It's a 44.353. So yeah, the second fastest time in this qualifying number 2 run. So they'll be well satisfied so far, Pip and Megan, putting together a really, really nice run. Here comes Tua Priest.
Yeah, here's Donna Thompson and Monica Cooper from Wanganui. The couple of hard case ladies, 406 Chevy. They're a couple of nurses actually by trade. 500 horsepower with an Eagle hull, and they just love this. They've had a bit of trouble with engine problems and keeping this thing going this year. But it doesn't look too bad today. Just quietly looking to take a hard left-hander now. Lifts it up, picks her nose up and gets it around there quite nicely. She's just putting a little bit of jandle into it early on in the program here. Just get herself a nice hard right-hander. Oh, bogged down, a little bit of slipping there, and in fact, then finds a little bit of gravel and a bit of earth. So started off really smooth, but starting to chase it around a little bit now. And we were waiting for it. We told you it was getting loose, but look at that. There's something about that lady that the guys should be worried about. Hey, hey, hey. How about put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen? Tough competitor. Donna Thompson says, don't worry about a little slip of the tongue there. I'll just recorrect myself and get myself around there hard. Jason, you're impressed.
Oh, I love that, mate. 47.863.
How about give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? They'll love to hear that.
47.863. Entertainment Machines. Well done, girls. That's 2 abreast.
They got a smile on their dial a mile wide as they come in. They know they had a bit of a mistake, but you wouldn't think about it. We'll go now to Schizo, Patrick and Jay Hayden.
Yes, a 406 Chev with a little over 500 horsepower, a Stinger hull and a Scott 825 jet unit. These guys, of course, are very well known for their wonderful helmets, sporting these beautiful mohawks and great competitors as well. So we'll just have a wee bit of a nosy and see how Patrick and Jay Hayden can get around this course. Tight there around Suzuki. And of course they gradually swing their way up to the top end of the course, then have to weave their way back through a few tight corners before making their way around to the finish line. So they'll swing over the far side now, come down and around mouth rest to post the time. And that was looking pretty solid actually. Not a bad run at all from Patrick and Jay Hayden, a 42.904. 42.904.
That's pretty handy, actually. In fact, that's going to be one of the quicker times of the day. Put them in second place at the moment, so that's going to be a boat to look at. Now, White Noise is about to come on track, and this is a boat that's had so many problems this year. Hayden Wilson and Chris Houseman, they've hardly had a track where they've been able to get themselves around due to engine problems, and we're not sure exactly what gremlin they found, but it sounds like they have got it right. 410 cubic inch Chevy, 400 horsepower, as we take a trip around the top for the first time. A fair bit of speed getting built up and a bit of confidence there now. Hard with the left-hander. Punch a little bit of water into the Heinz tank as we go around the outside again. Boy, oh boy, this guy's really found the pedal, put it down on the floor of the boat at the moment as he gets around there. Hard around the left-hander. Round the top end again. Oh, it gets rough up there. There's going to be some action coming out of the track up there later on. So those of you that are up the top end, you've got good viewing up there. Head around the outside and find ourselves the last turn, the final turn, and where do they get themselves?
All right, let's have a look with Hayden Wilson. Very nice, 41.576.
Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen. They are, of course, from Wanganui, so they'll be pretty happy. They'll have some Wanganui supporters up here. Be really happy to see that. That's great. That's the quickest time, Jason.
Yeah, very nice, mate. And you're talking about having some supporters, Wanganui supporters. Well, you got one right next to you, mate. So I was very, very pleased to see that. Really, really a good run from those two men. So superb effort.
Going up one. Only one of these boats left to go here. Ross Travis and Shane Travis to go. And the things aren't very happy down in that boat of theirs. They've got some real problems there, actually. And I can see a very frustrated Ross Travis pulling all the equipment off, and so he's not happy with the Radioactive, and they're one of the top boats that in the country. So what a shame that they're not getting a run in this round by the looks of it. Now, speaking of Wanganui supporters, I'm born and bred in Wanganui, in Ratahi of all places, and I had great pleasure now that I'm living in Canterbury to watch Wanganui beat Mid-Canterbury in the semi-finals of the Meads Cup down there, the Rugby Cup. And then I was down in Timaru a week later doing an event, and I told the mayor that Wanganui were going to beat South Canterbury, and I bet him the mayoral chains for a day. So he owes me the mayoral chains for a day. So I'm still supporting Wanganui all around the South Island. It's great to see them win the Second Division Rugby Championship this year. Yeah,
it sure was, mate. I don't think they were overly expected to do it as well. They're sort of the underdog coming into it. They scored that incredible try as well, where they went the length of the field.
Sky try of the year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. So where are we now? So we're in Chiefs territory these days as well, of course.
I
used to be Hurricanes territory up in this region, but they're now Chiefs supporters.
All right, looks like we're going to go up to Group A. Not quite sure what's happened with Ross Travis and Shane Travis, but they're pretty, they're looking at the back of that boat and shaking their heads, and they're saying, get us out of here. We're going to go back to the pits. So Radioactive is off the program for the moment. We're going to move down into Group A, up into Group A. These are the bigger boats. They're still fairly heavily regulated. 600 into 700 horsepower now. They run bigger camshaft lifts and different jets in the carburetors to get that extra horsepower from